me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a gun.
Hello, folks. Richard Moore, USA GSA. And I've got one for you today. Coming out of, we're going to talk about Phoenix, Arizona. And, of course, Maricopa County, Arizona is where Phoenix is. And the corruption runneth deep, ladies and gentlemen. And it's been a long time since I've talked about Phoenix, and I think it's high time that at least I bring something up and do my little part in the world, if you will. I'm having issues with equipment problems and so forth, and today, and so I'm getting this out not as timely as I wanted to, and not able to do some of the things that I need to, that without my computer and the cameras and so forth that are in the process of whatever needs to be done to them. I don't know. And so I'm using my what I use when I'm not in the studio. So just bear with me on this. But before I jump into it, in the description of this video is a link tree, and that link tree will give you the various links to the various platforms that we're on, including my Substack, where I've written extensively about these programs that I'm talking about, their tactics, the who, what, when, where, and how, and we put the names with the crimes, and especially as it refers to community-oriented policing, or as I affectionately call it, community orgasmic policing. Should be able to Google that and get all the information you need. We're 100% supported by our viewers, listeners, and followers, folks. So without you, we can't do what we're doing. And I want to give a shout out to those supporters that have been true blue with USA GSA. And since the onset, some of you have been there and you have made sure that USA GSA continues to grow and becomes and remains viable. We're 100% supported by our viewers, listeners, and followers. So, folks, ways you can support us is in that link tree as well. And take a stand with USA GSA. Get everything: the printed, the blogs, all the videos, everything. You get it in one place if you become a patron and Patreon, and that link is there as well. And you become a free member or paid member. So I invite you to check that out if you appreciate what we're doing in our content. I've got a story that's I'm working on that hopefully I'll have it. It'll be ready tomorrow evening. This is a complete dossier, if you will, a very simple, yet it's a complex situation of exactly what it is you hear people talking about, what it is I'm talking about. I don't think it's a mystery to those that are subscribed to this channel. I think you've got a real good idea of what I'm talking about. Millions of Americans, well over 1 million American citizens, are targeted by this program every year. Destroyed, their lives completely ripped apart, isolated from their families, alienated from their families. CPS taking their children, leveraged their children, assets stripped, being systematically harassed, stalked, surveilled 24 hours a day. Many are dying at the hands of these pathetics involved in community-oriented policing. The chief of police and the sheriff in your city and county, or the chief law enforcement, they're the ones that oversee the program in their neighborhood. They're the ones that willingly open the door to allow everything else to happen. This is the holistic approach to policing, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone doing his part to have a safer and better homeland. And why wouldn't you want to have a safer neighborhood? We don't want our children raped and kidnapped and killed and so forth, and the drugs and all of that. No, we don't want that. So that's what we're doing. So mind your own business. Because if they and that, and so goes the rest. And they was able to get this ploy, especially after 9/11, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deep state. It's not just the bureaucrats and these rogue politicians in Washington. It has dripped down to the private security industry, the military complex, everybody involved in having a safer homeland. What they're not telling you is as it meets on the front line here, your neighborhood, in your town, you've got these community mob pathetics that have singled out individuals they don't like, they don't agree with. They're a whistleblower, they're pro-life, or they're this, or they're that. They're the wrong color, wrong religion. They put them on a list, and that's not a hard deal to make. They'll tell you about the list, they'll deny there's a list. They're pathological liars. Everything that they tell you is a lie. Is it any wonder why Phoenix Police Department is one of the worst, in the top 10, number 6 in the nation, being the worst? They've got a backlog of over 2,000 complaints. And these are where people actually gone through the motions to make a complaint with the fox that's guarding the hen house, because they police themselves. Isn't that a sweet deal? Several stories of recent where one man was attacked by several Phoenix police officers. They thought he matched the description, and somebody had stole something in a store, and they held him down the pavement, and it burned his skin up. And another one that had disabilities, and he was tased and beat him nearly to death. And another one that with lack of attention and going through the same thing in Maricopa County Jail died. It's just on and on and on. But these 2,000 plus complaints, folks, these are serious complaints. This is where officers have stepped over the line and abused. I'm talking shot. They're killing more civilians. They're one of the top in the nation, folks, are killing more civilians than any agency in this country. Now, how many of these cops have gone to jail? Not a damn one of them. Not a damn one of them. So I make it real clear, folks. People say, well, you don't back the blue, support the blue. No, I sure don't. I support the red, white, and blue. I support the Constitution and the first responders. And those, in my mind, are the hundreds and thousands of men and women that died and bled out to give us the Constitution of the United States of America. Yes, I support that and honor that. But I don't honor those veterans that have taken part in this community orgasmic policing scenario, and they're targeting their own. You're simply someone that has betrayed your country, your oath, and you're an enemy against the state. 22 veterans a day die by suicide. And nobody really wants to put their finger on what's going on. I continue to put my finger on what's going on. It's this systematic destruction of when a target, an individual, an innocent civilian, starts complaining and making their concerns known of things that are going on, it's all designed that when repeated, they sound like they're suffering from some type of psychosis. That's a fact. Straight out, completely straight out of the CIA and MK Ultra playbook, ladies and gentlemen. You can take these programs that were doing this, banned COINTELPRO, Project Artichoke, and on and on and on. None of these programs, none of these government programs have gone away. It's all been streamlined thanks to the Department of Homeland Security, and that drips down all the way into the communities like gonorrhea. And that's exactly what these people represent. And so we'll talk about it. I firsthand had experience in Phoenix, Arizona, and Maricopa County. I witnessed an individual that was leasing a home and to buy a home, and how they systematically worked that deal. Ones this person was interested in, that did that, and they absolutely channeled them into the house that they wanted this person to buy. And guess what was in place? Stalking, moronic, pathetic criminals all around. Everything was in place for the person, the homeowner, to come in, only to find out. And this is a woman that lives alone. And is she safe? Well, what do you call safe? If you can't sleep in your own house, but yet they can come in and out at will. I just got an article from an individual that he was trying to dig around in his area and see what was really going on. And he contacted somebody, wanted to start a neighborhood watch or get involved in a neighborhood watch deal. Project Safe Neighborhood Watch, the sheriff's neighborhood watch, National Watch Association, the National Association of Police Chiefs. All of these deals fall in under one deal. Okay, keep that in mind. This is how they get everybody to get involved in this holistic approach to policing. Everybody doing their part, because you have all these organizations hand in hand, kumbaya, depriving and violating American citizens, murdering. Not only that, folks, they're running cover for their own asses. What I mean by that? I mean there's 300,000 children a year that CPS nationwide, cumulatively, can't account for. They don't where they are. They don't know. Reckon where they are, folks. Okay, we're talking about closing the borders. That's a good thing. But the enemy is within. The enemy is within the borders. That's scary, closing the borders. Is that going to be a two-way deal? I'm not going to jump on any conspiracies. I'm just saying, folks, we love to talk about this being the freest country in the world. Well, let me tell you what, folks, if you believe that bullshit, that you might have jump onto some other channel and get on TikTok and amuse yourself with fart videos or something like that. You're at the wrong place if you're that messed up in the head thinking that. You just as free as you think you are. You think that our First Amendment, and that's the problem, that Phoenix, one of their biggest complaints is how they violate people for exercising their First Amendment rights. Doing what I'm doing. Oh, we love the Constitution. We blah, 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 blah. And we want to protect that. Free speech, yeah. Until you say something they don't like, then by God, they're going to do everything can shut you up. And so I posted a thing that I noticed on another channel. Somebody made the remark, well, that's a broad statement. Aren't you worried about being sued and all that? And I'm not, honey. And I make broad statements. This is the home of big, broad statements and keeping it real. Okay? So I got her, that's her ID on YouTube, okay, for everybody to know. And here's I'm going to make it public. You are a stalking whore and a pathetic slut. Whatever your name is, right there. With some kind of fake name. And some kind of Middle Eastern mysticism, trying to figure out what portal she belongs to. I know exactly what portal you belong to, honey. Okay? And I don't believe it's the one you believe that you belong to. So I'm going to keep it real. And for the rest of you community pathetic perverts, you hope, if I get your name and your address or a picture of your car, your house, or you, or anything, I'm going to put it out there. If you think you're big enough to go out here and violate other people, including killing and torturing animals, then by God, I guarantee you I'm big enough to let the world know just what kind of sorry piece of shit you are. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. We're going to keep talking about it and being about it. Yeah, folks that know me know that I have I've got a simple mindset when it comes to living in America and being an American citizen. To simplify it, American citizens want to be able to make their way in life, take care of their family, take care of themselves, and live like they want to live. That doesn't mean somebody living off the reservation and killing people and eating their digits. But they want to be left alone. But no. Other people make their business that they've got to have something to do in order for this machine of the blue and all the badges and all this to work. Is you've got to have the problem, the perfect paradigm. They create the problem, they've got the solution. Crime is never going to decrease, not going to stop. Drugs are none of this is going to stop. That stops is a whole lot of people be out of work. And then where are they going to go? If Phoenix Police Department laid off 1,000 cops tomorrow, where would they go? Well, I can tell you, folks, Walmart only needs so many door greeters to stand there and say, welcome to Walmart, because that's about where they are, okay? I don't know what else. They can't do anything else. Nobody wants a moron that's gone out here and willingly and systematically participated in violating people's rights, their dignity. The Constitution, they swore an oath to protect. Many of them place their hands on Bibles that they never read, swear an oath to a God they don't believe in to protect the Constitution they think is a piece of trash. So, that's the ones we're talking about. Over 3 years ago, my experience at Maricopa County, they did not want yours truly in Phoenix, Arizona. I can promise you that. Just like they do what house to put and what they stack the deck for those that are targeted to make sure they render them unemployable. Don't let the people I talk that are facing homelessness, that are homeless. Read the story of Salt Lake City, Utah, where 6 officers with Salt Lake Police Department were recorded using a box cutter on a deceased homeless man. What I'm saying, can I cut him here and see blisters, see if we make it pop and all this kind of stuff. Desecrate, but he's homeless. But come to find out, he had family and people that loved him, and they don't think it's funny. But Salt Lake City Police, and of course we know that place is slap full of Mormons. They're absolutely, the Mormons infiltrated the Boy Scouts, and that we had 100 years of rape and incest, rape and molestation. They brought pornography, made it mainstream, put it there, all the hotels, Courtyard, Marriott International, all that. It's a damn cult, and they love community-oriented policing. That's why they gravitate. That's why the Masons gravitate. That's why these fools, these idiots and pathetics gravitate, because they all have their moral axe to grind, and that being they have zero morals. So with your neighbor, your friends involved in something, they're working with the community, neighborhood watch and all that, just know it's no different than you being buddy with Charles Manson or anybody else. Because you are buddy with the worst of the worst. They didn't want me there. I couldn't even get with PTSD. My service animal keeps me at times from going off the reservation on other people, because it doesn't take much, folks. When I start looking and talking to these victims that are systematic, and I'm not speaking about something that I read or heard about or talked about. You're looking at somebody that experiences every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. None of that, I document it. None of that, I take them to task in federal court, and I'm on number 6. And I'll continue that. I've started making it public, these attorneys that are making it possible for this whole system to work. Because when a victim, when they're targeted, the first line of defense, they get a lawyer. Well, they can't get a damn lawyer. When they do, they take their money, or they boast, they ass like can't do anything. They make sure they bridge the gap, making sure that a targeted individual, and it ranks in the millions in America, do not get justice. So that's how everybody gets on the same page. That's how places like Progressive Insurance, Walmart, AutoZone, or anybody else, they're playing their part to have a safer community, are assured that they don't have to be a subject of a lawsuit or anything else, because to get from point A to point B, 99.9% of the time, it takes an attorney to do it. And that, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, is not, people have been talking, I'm talking about it. And I'm putting them out there. Their name, what they did, where they are, the whole thing. If you've got something you want to submit, send them to me. I don't care where you are. You want to identify these people that have mistreated, whatever, you send it to me. I know what to do with it. Trust me. Couldn't even get into the Maricopa County because my pug, Lily. If those that have been with me for a while, remember Lily. And that is something that I really hadn't talked about. But when you're targeted by these pathetic criminals, they want you separated from your family and your loved ones. And they will infiltrate that. They'll get into your, they'll get it and turn your own blood against you. These diabolical, demonic schemes. And every ounce of this program is of the devil. There's not one person or one element of this program, and it's deep, and it's wide, and there are thousands that are participating in this that know God. They'll claim that God, that it's a different God. God does not take any part in the Bible, and God's word does not greenlight or loophole lying, cheating, blacklisting, slander, smear tactics, fear, terror, destruction of family, asset stripping, property destruction, only for them to call the Phoenix Police Department. And these morons don't know, call here, call there, and drag you, delay, block, and wear the victim down, because this is continuous, on and on and on. It's not just one incident. It's a calamity, a perpetual calamity coming from perpetual born losers. And it's going to keep happening until more people stand up. You know, stand up and take notice, but action. And this is, as always, a call to action. Go to my Substack, folks. I've read the documentation's there. I'm not pulling anything out of thin air. So when that victim is isolated and all they have for family are their pets, they're like their children in most cases, they will destroy them. And there's thousands of you right now know what I'm talking about. You've had your cat, your dog, your animals are poisoned. Lorraine Valente in Kentucky has a 501(c) nonprofit, animal rescue. Has a, her channel is alternative homesteading. The link will be in the description of the video. I'm going to put a couple of more links in there to some other people. One of her cats had come up missing, and then it was returned. If I understand it, with its eyes had been gouged out. These people, ladies and gentlemen, whatever they try to appear on the face, under the surface, are the very definition of evil. So to destroy the target, they have got to destroy anything that's good. And anybody that claims that they're a godly person and a moral person involved in community-oriented policing is a liar from the pits of hell. You fit the definition of somebody just full of shit. The devil hates God's creatures just like he hates God's creation. And so they'll kill these defenseless. Not just that you think we want our children safe. I just told you about the children they're missing. They don't give a shit about the children. These people have saved the children and all that kind of stuff. Let me tell you, 99% of those people are the very ones that make the child trafficking possible. That's what they want to save the children for. Not what you think they want to save the children for. Everything they say is opposite. Well, they got tired of the lawsuits and the exposure, and I get thrown in jail for 1.5 years with no bond. Of course, with cases that I would never see a courtroom. Time served. Okay. But what do you do with that? What all your personal possessions? What wasn't that the community orgasmic policing didn't steal? They destroyed. So, and Lily, our pug, and her friend, a cat, Kiki, were both brutally murdered. We'll put it like that. I won't go into the details of what's in store will be in store for, provided I learn the individual behind that. But that's not as big as the deals. I know the organizations behind it and the people locally that are behind it. That's why I do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't got nothing to do with wanting the spotlight or money. You can keep the spotlight and you can keep your money. I do what I do because it's the right thing, because there are people out there that have been systematically destroyed, that have lost all hope. There's nowhere to turn. They're on the edge. And I've tried to be one of those voices that says, you just step back away from that edge. You're not alone. You're not crazy. You can have a life, but you've got to understand what the rules are in this life once they target you. And part of that is going to be standing your ground and fighting for what is right. Not running down a rabbit hole and trying to convince somebody of some Area 51 mumbo jumbo. That will get you nowhere. It's not the tricks and the bells and whistles and the smoke screens I'm trying to figure out. It's that SOB behind the curtain, pulling the levers, that brick and mortar, those people that you see, those people that we're calling, those are the people. We start there, and all the other tricks and all the BS falls with it. I believe over the next 3.5 years, things are going to change, folks. I have the political discussion here, but we've got a person in Washington that will, in fact, and is in fact bringing about change, including those that believe that they're not part of that change. They voted for this man, but by God, they're going to soon learn that maybe, just maybe, they didn't figure that their deal was part of the deal. This is part of the deep state corruption I'm talking about, folks. And how serious it is. It's big enough that they can throw an election, and they know it, and these people are power, that once you give these people a power and authority, you got the psychopaths running these agencies, these police departments, and it's okay. Well, a single woman calls in, has this problem and that problem. And so I saw a little bit of video today about a cat that had been had become missing. It had obviously been abused. And I'll put the link to that channel in there as well. And I'm going to tell you, folks, I just did a story a couple of days ago of a kid that 19-year-old was getting kittens, 5 or 6 kittens in a box. It was curled up and everything, and taking them one out at a time. This one's mine. He smashed that with a brick. He stabbed another. He was killing kittens and putting the videos on Snapchat. 3 of them survived. Go watch the video. And a couple of days ago, he was convicted and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Yeah. He was 19 years old. I guess he's 21 now. And he's on his way to the penitentiary. And I think that's too good for him. So, as for you people in Phoenix, yeah, I made a commitment. I tell you, I am a man of my word. Now, the timing may not be the timing that you think it ought to be, but I'm going to tell you this. When I made a commitment of making sure that the rest of the world knew about the deplorables in Phoenix, Arizona, especially the ones that like to gravitate and hang around Paradise Lane, you thought I was a flash in the pan or gone or you'd gotten rid of them. I don't know what you was thinking. I wasn't put on this earth to back up, give up, nothing. I don't have that in me. I'm going to expose every one of you. I promise you. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on the names and just whoever's down there. Just get me some names and the pictures and let's let the world know what's going on down there, how these people love to terrorize a single woman, creeping in and out, destroying property, working with the police department, gaslighting and dragging and playing games with another human being. I don't believe anybody else in their right mind thinks that's acceptable. It's not acceptable. This is 2025, folks. We're not talking about some other country. We're talking about the United States. We're talking about in Phoenix, Arizona, Maricopa County. The criminals wear badges, folks. And they have propped up the orgasmic pathetics that are out there destroying lives, one life at a time. And what's being done about it, we don't know. But I can tell you what, folks, that's things are going to change. The tide, I feel, will be shifting. The other day, I had a conversation with the author. He authored a book, Hope's Boy. The author's name is Andrew Bridge. It's a new book available now. It's The Child Catcher. And Andrew is an accomplished author as well as an attorney. He graduated Harvard Law School. And he was a product of the foster care system and advocates for these children in these draconian conditions, and was the one that closed down an institution straight out of CIA's playbook in Eufaula, Alabama. He dedicates that book to the survivors of Eufaula Adolescent Center. If you don't know who he is, it's not hard to look him up. Amazon, his books are everywhere. It's author Andrew Bridge. We had a long conversation. It was not our first. I don't talk about it, but I am a survivor of the very thing he's talking about, the subject matter of the book. When I bring you these stories about these schemes, when I tell you, I know as a child I saw what the state of Alabama and how they did and what happened to children. The abuse, the dungeons. Oh my God. Folks, it's just as real as it gets. And I'm just as real as it's ever going to get. I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. I'm not running for office. I'm not trying to see how many people will accept or not. That is not my mission. My mission is to expose this evil corruption and the people behind it. And I'm going to do it by any and all means necessary. They operate off of a system where there are no rules. And I absolutely thrive within that parameter. But they don't like it. when I make up my rules. Well, you can't say this about me, you say that, or whatever. Everything that I put out there is not something, it's not conjecture or theory. It's an unmitigated fact. And they just have issues with facts. But I've got issues with people that target other people, that spend their lives to making sure they're tormenting and terrorizing and making somebody else miserable. That tells me that you are one miserable son of a bitch that really needs to be put out of your memory, out of your misery. And you abuse animals and kill animals, people, children. There's no limit to the evil of community-oriented policing, folks. Now, all these things are made possible because we've got a chief of police in Phoenix, Arizona, and a sheriff, a Maricopa County sheriff, are the top of the food chain when it comes to deplorable pathetics that have betrayed their oath in their country. And I'm going to tell you, folks, I'm going to end it with this. What does God think about someone that betrays another person? Well, I don't think he looks on it too kindly. Judas betrayed Jesus with a kiss and 30 pieces of silver. Sold him cheap, didn't he? And let me tell you what, folks. Jesus said, remember, they hated me first. That's the world we're living in. Understand that. But the problems of this world, the problems that you have, those that are targeted, those that right now they're going through, whatever you're going through, know this. God sees it. He's bigger than that problem. But I'm going to tell you, he's not going to step in and put you in a rose garden. You can't shack up with the devil and expect God to pay the rent. It's time to pick sides, because you're not serving God and you don't belong to him. There's only one other option. You're serving the devil, and that's who this fight's with, is the devil, and every damn lie he told. That's what it's about. So, folks, if you know somebody, anybody that's living in the Phoenix, Arizona area, or in the state of Arizona, I encourage you to share this content. I want to hear from people there. I want to get stories from there. I want to continue to keep these criminals on the hot seat. And that exposure, that light of truth is what we've got. And folks, let me tell you, we've got it in spades. But we can't expose them unless you give me what's going on. I need to hear from you. They're all over the place. And we know there's tens upon thousands in the state of Arizona. Upward, probably anywhere from 50,000 plus just in the Phoenix area. And things are written off as standard everyday occurrences of this, that, and the other. And in reality, these things are by design. By design. When you've got the Faucis and the Gates behind supporting this program, the ones that want population control to call, oh yeah, oh, I thought they didn't like those, but anything those people tell you, they're involved in community-oriented policing. These cops, these security, these private, these people are telling you is a damn lie. These gullible clowns, especially on the front line, they believe anything they're told, and their minds are like concrete. It's all mixed up and permanently set. And I am not trying to resurrect the dead and convert any of these people. I feel like it's easier to give birth. And that giving birth is shine a little light where a person says, you know what? That's what's going on here. That's what they've marginalized and dismissed me, they've done anything, ignored it, but it keeps on happening, and the crime continues, and I'm continuing to lose and continue to give up because I've lost my family, lost everything. I don't have anybody to fight for me. You do, and there's others that will. So let me hear from you, folks. I appreciate you. Until next time, God bless you.
Call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon, fuel to the